question is
Yes.
the impact of going abroad for
Yeah.
education.
And Cornell
well, not necessarily Cornell, but just maybe coming to the U.S. for education.
Okay.
I don't think it's whether it's Cornell or Columbia specific.
Yes.
And I think the idea of if so many young people now will go abroad for their college education or their graduate education, and how does that influence your life afterward?
Leaving India and coming to the United States and being in an American college was a great equalizer in many ways. It was one of the most profound things that I should say happened in my life. I broke tradition in not going to England, which is where everyone my age, if they went abroad, would go. The United States was still a country where only a few people went, and most of them at a postgraduate level. What it did for me was, apart from giving me a great deal of self-confidence, because you are really on your own. You're not sheltered any longer as I would have been had I stayed in India. You were in a meritorious kind of rating. You either made it or you didn't. You succeeded or you didn't. There was no protection for you if you did something wrong. And it made me my own person rather than Mr. Tata or whoever. And I think that was something that I will always be appreciative of. Going back to India, it gave me an ability to reflect the same independence that I had gained in being in the United States. And I have not been able to change people's view that it's a very hierarchical country with a lot of status issues and a disinterest in treating everybody equally, which I've been trying very hard in my life and around me to change. To some extent I have, and to a great extent I have failed, not because of me, but because of the cultural issues being so strong. But I would imagine for all of you, where those who are going back to their home countries, you'll go back with a tremendous strength of character that you will have gained from being in a vastly equal environment where only merit counts and there are no additional forces that lead you to be accepted or recognized. And I think the United States has that one great attribute today in terms of the students that returns back, in terms of being in a very competitive and a very equalized environment, so that you really have a great deal of self-esteem that you gain by the time you return.
Thank you.